Hello, I'm Cassidy Skistimas. One of the greatest misconceptions in fish keeping is the belief that no matter what type of fish you have, it magically has the ability to grow to whatever size tank it's being kept in. As a fish keeper myself, I'm asked about this nearly every time fish are brought up in a conversation, and since my major is marine biology, it's brought up a lot. When I looked at the in-class relevancy survey by Skistimas or myself, most of the class has at some point owned a fish. This speech will provide you, fish owners, with the information of how to improve the lives of your aquatic friends. Today I will be discussing the importance of choosing an appropriately sized aquarium to fit your fish, as well as inform you about the basics of ethical fish keeping. The major topics that will be discussed in this speech are why it's important to choose the right size aquarium, why researching your fish prior to purchase is crucial, and I will also provide you with 2 examples of fish common in the hobby to deepen your understanding of why tank size and research is so important. Having the right size tank affects many different aspects of fish keeping, such as water quality, which has many impacts on a fish's growth and overall health. The webpage Does Tank Size Limit Growth explains that every species of fish has different environmental requirements such as pH, nitrate, nitrite, and ammonia levels. This makes research incredibly important because the size of the fish affects how much waste is going into the tank, which is affecting the parameters. The misconception about fish growing to the size of the tank can be explained by looking at the water quality of that tank. From the webpage, Do Fish Grow to the Size of Their Tank? Beneficial bacteria break down waste inside of the tank and create a cycle keeping the water parameters in check. The more surface area you have, the more bacteria grow, allowing your tank to cycle. If a fish that has the potential to grow very large grows to the size of the tank, then it is producing too much waste for the bacteria to keep up with. As stated in the webpage Does Tank Size Limit Growth? If your tank does not receive very frequent water changes, then the water quality of that tank will decrease and cause the fish's growth to be stunted, making it appear as though it grew to the size of the tank. Any amount of nitrate, nitrite, or ammonia is extremely toxic to whatever you may have in your tank, whether it be fish, snails, or corals. It is also important to do research on the temperament and mating rituals of the fish that you want to purchase. Water parameters can have great effects on how your fish behaves, and by already having familiarity with that typical behavior of that fish, it will be easier to tell if something has gone wrong with your cycle. Often when a cycle has crashed, the fish will become lethargic, eat less or not at all, or can die suddenly, leaving you wondering what went wrong. Because of the fact that many people do not research their fish prior to purchase, many fish suffer from deplorable conditions and often die prematurely. I will now discuss several species of fish commonly sold at pet stores which are greatly mistreated. Most all pet stores sell the same species of fish that I'm about to tell you about, and until recently were even sold at Walmart. The first and probably the most mistreated fish in the hobby, besides goldfish and bettas, is the pleco, or the Hypostomus plecostomus. This fish is a bottom feeder, often advertised as a fish that will clean your tank for you, which, as a note, is very false. Because of this, the owners rarely make any effort to care for their tank. This species can grow to over 12 inches long, and for most customers, this far exceeds what they can accommodate. Oftentimes, if the fish isn't killed by the negligence of its owner, it is brought back to the store from which it came, only to live the rest of its life there. Another species, which has even less business being sold in pet stores, is the red-tailed catfish, or the Practylophosaurus hemialopterus. All of the following information comes from the Schofield, Nico, and Fuller species profile of the Practylophosaurus hemialopterus. This is a catfish found in tropical America and the Amazon and Orinoco basins of South America. It can grow to a length of 1.3 meters, or around 4 feet, as can be seen here in this visual aid. It can also weigh up to 80 kilograms or 176 pounds. This potentially massive fish is being sold to people out pet shopping on a whim and to parents out buying their children their first pet. The size being an issue of itself, catfish are cannibalistic predators that will devour anything that will fit in its mouth. This information enforces the importance of tank size and research. The purpose of this speech was to inform you of the importance of appropriate aquarium size, and emphasized the importance of research and ethical fish keeping. We discussed why tank size matters and how it affects water quality and your fish's growth. We also discussed how fish common in the hobby are being marketed toward beginner fish keepers when they really have no place in the hobby at all. Doing your research and purchasing the right size aquarium for your fish can help them live a long, happy life and provide you with the enjoyment and fulfillment of fish keeping.